In 9 paintings, Megan and I are going to take you from basic to fabulous. Welcome to the Night Muse Academy of Art.
We teach fine art lessons for children 5 to 95. Like, comment, and subscribe to join the community and be a musee.
And we're going to teach you everything so you can paint anything. We have 3 levels to all of our paintings. Today we're going to do a level 1, and this is the step 1. Next time,
We will do step 2.
and we're going to literally flip this on its head.
And once we flip it around, it creates the sun. And then we're going to put this really dramatic silhouetted cityscape in front of it.
Now, the next and last step, we'll be doing all the details. We're going to create a foreground using different light tones, detail, and it's
To bring depth.
it's going to be beautiful. So let's get started. Let's look at the painting.
All right, so step 1 on your card. Prepare your canvas. Mix cadmium yellow and cadmium red to create a medium orange color. Using your large flat brush, cover the entire canvas with a smooth layer of orange. Allow this layer to fully dry before moving on.
We're going to begin preparing our canvas here. We have the wet silk canvases, keeps it nice and wet.
Wet still seal palettes.
Thank you. What did I say? Canvas, huh? Okay. Now, if you look at our canvas here, this is what is with me. Palettes. Wow. We are on a Big Sky palette here. That means we have both cadmium yellow and red. We have the ultramarine blue and the raw umber. We also have 2 more things. This is a mixing medium. It is not white. It's M. And white. We have some titanium white.
Yes.
We're going to, per card, start with our cadmium red, cadmium yellow, and
It's a mixed medium.
mixing medium. Mixing medium doubles your paint as long as the 1-to-1 ratio. Do not do more than a 1-to-1 ratio. It makes it transparent and poopy. It makes it so it dries slower, and it makes it so you can double and thicken cheap paint. We don't do cheap paint here.
Don't we do have heavy but paint?
Now you're going, why the heck do I have 3 yellows? I'm going to save my time for mixing. This is going to go from dark orange into lighter oranges and yellows. So
I set mine up for just red, the yellow. If you notice, I have far more yellow than I do red. And that's because you will need way more yellow than you will red because red is so much darker. So we're not going to use quite as much of it.
and eventually you need different puddles. Now I'm going to have to mix mixing medium into each of these. You're just going to mix it in and then move the puddles.
Yeah. I just mixed just here, and then I will use these colors to mix my other.
A little bit more of there. Let's talk about mixing paint. You're going to have, right now you have a light and a dark. If you try to put this light yellow into your dark, it's going to take a lot of yellow. But you only need a little bit of a dab to make this yellow orange. Like there's just a little bit on my brush. And look at that. It's already getting dark pretty fast.
Does. We were looking for a good medium yellow, nothing too dark, nothing too light. We'll be building on top of it later.
Now, typically I go here and then I make it kind of a medium orange between this yellow and this darker orange. But we're going to paint the whole canvas today. So we're going to take all of this and mix a nice big puddle. We need big puddles of paint. You don't want to get halfway through the canvas and be like, ugh, you have to mix some more. Because that's just frustrating because it's hard to mix exactly the same orange.
It's true.
We're going to test this. I want you to go back to the card. And you're going to look at that orange. Take your palette knife and compare your orange to the card. So I'm going to do that here. If you look back at the palette, and I need a whole lot more red.
Oh, hers much darker.
It's a whole lot darker. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So I'm going to mix up a lot more. And it's truthfully, it's one of my favorite parts.
Mixing paint?
Yeah. It's fun to scrape, squish.
It's also just really relaxing to mix paint.
I think that somewhat times people who aren't very skilled at art, they just like painting because it's just fun. You know, some of those abstract painters, you're just like, you make something pretty, but doesn't mean you have the skills. I'm a snoop. Yep. It's not exactly the same because of my print.
I think it's probably the print too. But I
Yeah.
think that's a pretty good orange.
Yeah. Let's just compare. Yeah. Here's a little bit lighter. That's okay.
Yeah, but a little.
You're like, okay.
Okay.
Make sure, let's talk about ADHD-ness.
Oh.
Put the cap on. Put it away. Put the cap on. Put it away. Cap on. And then wipe off your palette knife. Put it on your mat. Look how I'm getting so much better. Now, brush.
Yeah, we are using our big flat brush for this step. And this is just because we have to just cover this whole canvas as efficiently as possible. So use your big brush.
And we're going to come here and we're going to completely dunk the brush, kind of tap it. And we're going to add some water to it. It's going to thin it out because we want a really nice thin layer of paint. And so you kind of make it goopy, soupy.
A little soupy. You don't want it to be, if it feels like it's dragging in through your paint, you need more water.
Okay.
So let's look at our canvases.
Yeah, let's look at our canvases.
Okay.
Let's come here and you're going to use, you can squish on paint two ways. First thing, a nice line, or flip it and you come like that. So of course we're covering the canvas. Now if you notice, if I don't do a couple strokes, it doesn't cover the canvas. I need both more paint and more water. If you have too much water, I'll show you this, too much water. Yeah, look at that. It just like separates, right? If that's happening, get more pigment. And then if you get too much pigment, what's going to happen is you're going to have a nice thick coat. And the bottom layer needs to be thin, and but not too thin. Like kind of a mix. You're going to squish it on with the flat of your brush and then tiptoe like this if it's too thick like that. And you're going to come and just kiss the water. So you add a little bit of water and make it flow across the whole canvas. Not too thick, not too thin. Make it goldy. Looks perfect. Again, you can apply paint by squishing your
Squishing your
now
brush.
this is a canvas.
Everything's a canvas today, Sarah.
Today, and then tiptoe and move it around like this. Why do we have a long brush?
So that we can sit further away.
The further away you are from something, the easier it is to see. And so we hold our brush by the end of our brush like this or like this, but never like this.
Yeah, now they're all the way up here.
Yes. It'll poke out your eyes. Once you have your whole canvas painted, we're going to make sure you have a lot of dry time. We don't want it tacky at all. We're going to start drawing with our chalk and it causes problems if your canvas is wet.
So if you need to, go blow dry it. Acrylic paints is really fantastic. If you have a blow dryer handy, blow dry it.
Or just go get your morning cup of joe and go eat a little bit. I don't know.
Or go get a snack.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go blow dry. You should be done blow drying now. Now, go get your card again. Let's read it together. Step 2, drawing basic shapes. Once the background is dry, make sure it's dry, use a piece of chalk to lightly sketch the overall shape of your light bulb. Break the light bulb into basic shapes. If you see, it's like a circle with a neck, before moving on to refining the shape. Now, we're going to give you an extra little tool here. You have a big old cross in the middle of this, right? You're like, why? If you adjust the size of your design, meaning if you go up or down, like this is ours. If you look at ours, go back to ours. There we go. He's little. We're big. Some people will grid out their canvases and draw it on to make it perfect. We're going to teach you a tool that is a whole lot easier. We're going to need a ruler and your chalk, and the rest of the card, if you look at the card again. If you're adjusting the size of your design, use the X method to help scale the proportions accurately. This ensures your light bulb remains symmetrical and centered on your canvas. So, if you look back at us again, you're going to use a ruler and you're going to make a chalk line from corner to corner.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to wash out my brush because did I before? No.
So when you do this, make sure that you are putting it just slightly off from the edge of your canvas because the chalk has width.
Yes.
Is that how I would say that?
Sure. This camera. No, let's keep it on this camera because
I'll go fast.
it's okay. This works if you have the same ratio. Mm-hmm. If we were going into 11 by 14 from 12 by 12, this would not work. You'd have to find the 12 by 12 of the canvas and put an X there. So easy scalable things is 8 by 10 goes into 11 by 14, which goes into 16 by 24. Yes. So I want you to break it even more into basic shapes.
Okay.
So on the card, it has a bunch of shapes. What are the basic shapes within all those shapes?
So a circle, a trapezoid, a square, and a triangle.
But if we completely switch to even more so, it would literally be a circle and a rectangle. So that's what we're going to start with, is a circle and a rectangle. We gave the card and it has all the shapes, but since you're watching this video, we're going to give you an even better tip here. So Megan is putting an X in our reference.
Mm-hmm.
We have this circle, and a lot of people kind of get a little bit weird about this because they like to put this circle through the whole light bulb. It needs to be a circle right here and then a rectangle. So we're going to come and look at the 4 quadrants, and we're going to make our circle where I'm going to look at this quadrant and go, it comes out a little bit. And I'm turning my chalk because I swear there's like little weird pieces that makes it so they can't draw. Because now, if you notice, neither of us are using our fingers to draw. Both of us are using our whole arm. If you're like, I can't draw a circle because you're using your fingers and you're trying to get a circle, no, use your whole arm to draw. Now, this chalk is beautiful because guess what? If I make, I don't want that. I make that, I don't want that. You come here. Goodbye. A little bit of water. Okay, so you have your circle. Then you're going to figure out where this little stick is going to go. And then figure out your rectangle. Right there. You're going to make a neck for your light bulb between the two. Then you're going to break it into the trapezoids and the uptherozoids and the all the zoids. We're going to have a little base right here and the socket part that has the trapezoid on the top. Basic shapes. Okay. You're going to want to make sure it's symmetrical, meaning if you do a line down, this top should go here, but also this and this should be even. That is the biggest problem I see with drawing the light bulb, is this is a little bit littler and the bulb just kind of looks not so good. And I'm going to make mine, I'm going to adjust that so I have a longer neck. And I'm going to dip my brush in my water. And I'm going to take it out. And I'm going to erase all the lines I don't need. You need to erase as much as you draw. And you draw something on very loosely. And then take out the lines you don't need. And you can refine your shapes by erasing. Erasing is your pal. I tell students, even if you draw it perfectly, you need to find 3 things that are not quite right and erase. It doesn't matter how good it looks. You can make it more accurate by erasing 3 times. So now I get to practice the Muse method. The Muse method.
What is the Muse method?
Has 5 steps. The first step, and the most important step, is step back. We have long brushes, so we're far away, but we actually need to step back. Move your butt. It's not only back, it's a step back. So once we step back, I'm going to go out of camera. Back here, people.
Okay. All the way.
Then I'm going to move my eyes here, 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 here. A lot of times people draw it, memorize it, and don't refer to the picture enough. I can see mine is like, everything is just a little bit like, right? I need a bigger twirly part. And I come here and I visualize. So you would step back, we've observed, and now we're visualizing. Oh, well, I missed a step.
Oh?
Deciding.
Decide. You have to decide what
I have to decide and then visualize so I can execute. This whole thing needs to be dropped just a little bit more to create space for the loop-de-loop. And I need to make sure that it's not skewy.
Mm-hmm.
So what about you?
So my little trapezoid right here is too blocky. This has a really pretty curve right here, so I need to make this come in. Because I made it so wide, this part of my socket is too big. So if I make this skinnier, then this square doesn't have to be as big, and that's going to change the proportions that I put up. So by fixing this, it fixes what's wrong with all that.
And the wonderful thing about painting with a friend, now I'm gonna draw it, and then I'm gonna have her look at it and see what she can see. I love that. Okay, so go ahead. Let's do another time lapse. We're going to do a peer critique. I'm going to look at hers, she's going to look at mine, and give suggestions. If you're doing it alone,
well, that's why you should be in a group.
Yeah, you don't have to.
But you don't have to.
But go somewhere else.
Go
Clear your brain. Yes.
Step away from it for a while.
And if you can, go find a buddy to go paint with. Come to the paint garden here at the Ninth Muse or a cafe somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Find a buddy. Painting is more fun.
It's true. So, are we switching?
Let's step back. We'll just step back and we'll be voiceless, no, headless voices in the background.
Okay.
So, I'm going to ask questions, Megan. The socket, is it too fat or too skinny?
It might be too skinny.
It's a little too skinny. And then, I don't know, but I want you to check your symmetry.
I think I lost it. I erased that central line.
Okay, so what about me?
I have the same question for you. Is your socket too fat or too skinny?
I wonder if my bulb's not big enough. It's either too fat or my bulb's not big enough.
Bulb might be too small.
Yeah. So sometimes it will look too skinny or too tall or something. It's because the other part's not right. So I'm going to go and try to make my bulb bigger, do some measuring. You know what I'm doing? I'm doing a 1-to-1. I am making my bulb
The same size?
I'm making, guys, I'm drawing this bulb on this scale, but this is a bigger scale. Yeah, see? It needs to be bigger.
It doesn't need to be bigger.
I think, yeah, okay. So you make yours fatter, your socket fatter, and I'm going to make...
And I need to put back my line of symmetry, which we check with this straight line all the way down.
Yes, but just a bigger bulb. And then again, what am I going to do? Step back and look at this. This literally is the greatest tool. And this is what we teach. Is stepping back every step of the way and observing it, deciding what needs to be changed, visualizing that change, and then executing it. It will, if you do this, I have seen student after student after student develop their skills and become really good artists. That, again, they can draw and paint anything. And that is our goal here. Teach you everything so you can draw and paint anything. Okay. My neck. Not my neck. The bulb's neck.
The bulb's neck.
It's a little bit tricky, but at the end of the day, breaking down the steps really helps. And I'm stepping back. So we're going to flip our card over and we're going to do step 3. So let's look at our card. Apply pure yellow over the glass of the bulb. Use burnt umber to paint the socket of the bulb. Mix titanium, white, and cadmium yellow to create a pale, glowy yellow. So we're going to layer this on, right? We're going to just put on the yellow and then mix more white into it to make that translucent look. Layer the lighter mixture with orange and yellow using energetic brush strokes. Megan, energetic brush. I love you. To just reflective light and glass texture. This is perfect. Look closely at the implied shapes and highlights of your reference image using titanium white sparingly. Sparingly. Guys, don't make this all white.
Yeah, don't make it pure white. I think a really common mishap that people do, especially when depicting light itself, is they're like, oh, we'll just make everything white, but it's not usually white, actually, guys. It's normally some shade of...
And we're going to accent the brightness reflected areas of the bulb. So I want you to get that little part of that reference there. And I want you to really focus on these steps. Look where you put your white or yellow first.
Let's start with blocking in our primary yellow.
If you look here at the canvas and you look at your card, she leaves a little bit of that orange, right? We're going to start with our angle brush. It's different than our flat brush. because it has an angle.
So the good thing about our angle brushes is this flat edge allows us to really like push and carve out lines.
So you come here and I can drag it and draw a nice light or thin line and define that bulb. Kind of decide where I'm not going to cover over the chalk. I can talk and paint at the same time. Don't just fill in your light bulb. Just don't go here. Okay, then I'm going to go paint. Keep on moving your eyes back and forth during this process, looking at where this line start, goes, end. I drew it, but I'm going to refine this. Where does this line start, go, end? I'm going to make sure I have enough water. It's going to be a thin coat to kind of draw it first, and then we're going to need a thicker coat.
We'll be layering varying tones of yellow in order to create this suggestion of dimension. So it's okay if your paint's a little thin this time.
I forgot my orange part. Probably going to have to paint it anyways. But
you might have to add it in. If you cover in too much yellow, you can't put the orange back in. It's the beauty of acrylics, honestly.
Serious.
It'll dry fast and you can just cover it back up.
And we're going to come here. I'm going to kiss my water, have less water inside my brush, and I'm going to squish more to coat more. So let's do a close-up. We're going to be very careful in the next part on making sure we have implied lines. We're going to look at the orange first. Then we're going to add the buttery yellow on top of it. And we're going to keep it impressionistic.
Yes.
And that means that we're not having very defined strokes. We're focusing on where that stroke starts, goes, and ends. And just try to do it in one shot.
Try to do it at least one or two brush strokes. So you're basically breaking down the shape into just tones of brush strokes. So each brush stroke is a different tone. By layering them, we're creating the impression of a shape. That's Impressionism.
I'm going to look at my thing here. I want you to look at your card. And we're going to start with the dark tones. We have one that goes long, a big one, a middle one, and a little one. Do you see that? Big, middle, little. Look. Yay. Yay. We're going to...
Are we using angle or smalls for this?
Let's do angle still.
Okay.
We're going to pick up the dark color.
Which is our orange.
Uh-huh.
If you probably don't want to go darker than our background color.
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet.
I'm going to focus. It's going to be a little bit inside the yellow. And I'm going to pull it through. And twist my brush to create different, like this one needs to be a little fatter. And like, look how beautiful this is. I just dab my rag in water. And it comes right off. You can erase.
You can erase quickly.
A little, yeah. But if you can erase with acrylics for very long. Okay, and then it has this dark tone here on the side too.
Oh yeah.
You can't see. Now we're going to analyze our strokes. We're going to want to analyze our strokes. I notice that there's a negative space, or not a negative, but a yellow that goes through right here between the two. I'm going to get that in there right here. I wonder if you have enough yellow on the top, but you can put that on now.
Yeah, I think I need to go back now with my original yellow, and then
I think truthfully we need to go to buttery yellow.
do we need to switch to butter now?
Yeah, let's get some titanium white.
Okay.
Wash out my brush. Let's look at our palette. We're going to get some white out. We're going to mix mixing medium in there. And we're going to create a nice buttery yellow. We're going to, I like to keep a little bit of white and then another puddle over here where I just tap my yellow into my palette knife into the yellow, right into my white. And I'm going to create just a little bit lighter than the yellow out of the tube.
Excellent.
Just tapping my brush to get a little bit more at a time.
And we don't need a huge puddle of this. This is just going to be used. We might use some of it later, but we really aren't going to use too much of this. So you don't need a huge puddle.
You want to see?
Mine's darker. Oh.
Yep. Now let's compare it to the card. So let's look here. You know what?
We need two.
We need both of them.
We do.
Yes. So you can do it with your brush, but I like to come here on all my palette, have the lights and the darks. Right? Have two different yellows.
So to make a lighter yellow, add more white. So it's just a matter of varying how much white you put into your yellow, and you can get different shades.
Stop and put the lids on and put them back. Okay. Oh, angle brush, little brush.
We can switch to little.
And stick to them. Okay. We're going to look on where this buttery yellow is. If I look at here, it goes mostly around here. See the white? Take the white off. Pretend the white is not there. We're just painting the darker orange and the buttery yellow. Make sure it's not really thick. Leave some of that yellow behind it just a little bit. And so it creates more depth. If we look here, I'm going to visualize it before I do it. I'm going to come here with all that buttery yellow. And I'm going to look for where... I don't want it. Sorry. Follow instruction. I want an angle brush. That's not...
I'm going to use a small brush.
Okay.
Just so that I can keep my brush strokes really short. I'm going to try it.
Let's see. I want you to see here, where I can just pull this through. I can do my little ones here. And we're going to see how using a different brush creates different strokes. There's going to be a difference in Megan's and mine's. Just literally how you stroke the canvas with your brush. At this point, I'm not going to overwork my light bulb. We're going to make sure we like it, but we're going to refine it in the last step. We're going to get the raw umber out, this nice dark brown, and we're going to block in the shapes of that light bulb socket. Put it into basic shapes. Just don't paint what you already have, but we're going to get the trapezoid, that's a square, not a rectangle anymore, a square and a rectangle.
Yeah, it's a little house.
It's a little house, yes.
Yes, it's a little house.
So get your raw umber out, mix some mixing medium in there, and let's paint it in. We're going to paint in, again, these shapes. We've already mixed our colors. Do another time lapse. But before we go there, we're going to pull our brush and twist our brush. Make sure it's not craggly. You're going to baptize your brush, pulling it through. I'm going to use my detail brush at this point, and I'm going to use the edge of it. I'm going to use the edge of it. Don't get distracted by the paint on your hand, Sarah. And I'm going to paint it in. So if you come here, I'm using the edge and drawing in my shapes before I fill it in, making sure they are correct. So it should be a close-up. You're going to literally look at this and draw in these shapes. Define your chalk lines. If you don't like, let's say I come, that's okay. All you have to do is wet your rag a little bit and take it off like magic. And once we get your basic lines, at this point, we're going to fill it in. At this point, when I'm trying to layer on my paint, it's just picking it up. I'm going to let it settle and dry for a little bit. You didn't have as much water in your paint, and so it's more opaque. And I love how you're already getting in the socket lines. So if these ones are going to, turn into a little bit of a socket.
Just marking out where I wanted them, and I'm just using my brush stroke for it.
I love that. I'm going to let it settle, and let's go look at the card. Build the background texture. So this one definitely is a build. You have step 1, 2, and 3. You see how it starts off with the yellow, goes into a darker orange, and then gets really dark. Using your angle brush, paint yellow around the edges of the light bulb where the lights, you're going to read this.
Okay. So we're looking at step 4 in your card. Using your angle brush, paint yellow around the edge of the bulb where the light would shine most intensely. It's time to create the atmospheric background using impressionistic brushwork. Mix a range of dark reds and oranges using cadmium red and cadmium yellow. To darken your red, add burnt umber. With your angle brush again, I repeated myself. We're using...
It should be raw umber.
It should be raw umber. Okay.
We're going to do raw umber.
Okay. Raw umber, not burnt umber. So with our brushes, we're using short and blocky brush strokes to apply these colors around our light bulb in a circular motion. Alternate between light, medium, and dark tones to suggest movement and depth. So we're going to be doing some fancy brushwork, except not really. It just looks fancy.
It looks fancy. Breaks your brain a little bit, but it's not that. We're going to be using our angle brush. If you come and look at the palette here, we're going to be using our angle brush so we can do nice strokes. We're going to pretty much start with this light, go into the bright, the middle, and the dark. But it shouldn't stay this way. Eventually, you should have a little bit of a lot of different colors here. I don't have enough yellow. You have plenty yellow.
I got lots earlier.
So we're going to start with the light. And why don't you show them, while I mix up my yellow, Megan, how to apply this.
Okay. So, grab your yellow. Did you see you wanted to use the lightest yellow first? Or the yellow
so.
yellow?
I think we need the lightest yellow first to really create that glow.
Okay. So, we're going to go in with our butter yellow we used earlier. Drag your brush through. And then, so these brush strokes look complicated, but they're really not. So, with our angle brush, I want you to think of it as like a dash almost. So you're going to push and lift. Push and lift. They're going to fade off at the end of that push.
So let's come here and look at this. So come here. Push.
And lift. Push and lift.
I don't have enough paint on my brush, so I'm going to load it back up. When I'm pulling my brush through, it feels like it's dragging a little bit. So I'm going to kiss my water, and we're just going to go. Psh, psh. It helps with the noises.
Yes.
Push, lift. Push, lift.
And it's okay if they're slightly transparent because we're going to be layering.
Uh-huh. And we're gonna be layering these around here. So make sure you have about two things around it.
Yeah.
But don't make them the same.
Don't make them the same. Remember big, middle, littles, and try to alternate them so they're not like on top of each other. Think about it almost like a brick pattern.
Yeah.
That's how I think about it, as a brick pattern.
And I'm coming in here with that bright yellow. You're gonna overlap a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not too much. And just vary those. I have like a distinct line right here. I need to break up that line. I need to come and not have a perfect line. There we go. The light shouldn't go boom, boom, boom.
In perfectly radiating circles.
Right. It should be broken up. My brush stroke is too perfect. We need to variate it a little bit. And I'm going to come in here with this buttery yellow, lots of water, and create kind of, more water. Kind of a glow. See through there? It's not going to look like your picture at this point.
No.
Because we have more layers to do.
We have quite a bit more layers, so don't freak out.
At this point, we have our yellows in. We're going to go to the next layer with the oranges, and then eventually all the reds. Let's get started. We are about halfway done with all these little brush strokes. I've already come in with a dark. I'm a little bit more random than Megan. I like how straight but not perfect these lines are, the implied lines coming out. I'm going to let him set just a little bit because I'm going to start layering a little bit more, and just let it settle for a bit and come in with a little bit of a wash on top of that. You do strokes on top of this first layer and really darken it. So I'm going to let it set for a bit. Was there anything else we need to talk about?
Oh, so we could talk about the layers of mixing in some darkers into your lighter areas as well.
Yes. Make sure you have some darkers, and then I'm going to add some light. It is a 75-25 ratio. Right here, you have 75% light, 25% dark. In the dark areas, you have 75% dark, 25% light.
Yes.
Blue rule of thirds. But when I first started painting this light bulb and this technique, I really struggled because I didn't let the paint sigh for like 2 seconds. I just kept on painting and overworking it. Make sure you don't overwork it. And we're going to notice a little line that you might not see right here. And you'll notice this part of my canvas is going to be lighter. I'm going to get that line in. And this goes to the medium really fast. So you have this light that just kind of goes straight down and around. And then medium that goes up here and around. And then the dark. Break everything into light, middle, dark. Light, middle, dark. We are about halfway through these strokes. If you notice, the top strokes went from flat to now they're a little skinny. So you're going to take your brush, size up, and instead of going like this, you're going to go like this.
So,
To get it dark, you're going to have to add a lot of round umber, and you're just going to streak it like boop, 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 flat, and variate it. We don't want just one color. We're going to have to layer. Up here, I'm going to have to layer some light, and I'm going to have to put some dark on the bottom. step number 5. This is the finishing details. Finally, let's go look at your card. Go ahead and go look at your card. Finally, adding the additional layers of yellow to the background and defining the direction of the light. You're going to have kind of a downward slope, right? Use raw umber and titanium white to add highlights to the light socket. Touch up any details. So again, we're going to refine our painting. We're going to look at the direction of this light that's going down and work on the socket. And you're going to, any other layers, in the light bulb and stuff.
If any you need, do the titanium white, like the brightest brights of our light bulb, we need to put in still. So you see, we have these really bright, and this is actual white, but we're just going to use it sparingly and just.
What I'm going to do is, to make sure all my tones are right, I'm going to go ahead and make sure this gets really dark and this gets really light, because that will affect how the whole painting looks. I have a really sneaky thing I might want to try to do.
Are you going to do a sneaky thing?
I'm going to do sneaky things. I'm going to come here. I have the light tone. Usually I put on the dark tone layer and on the middle or light tone. I'm going to leave this light and just paint the dark inside. And let's look at this really, really, really close. You have, is this a good place?
Yeah.
You have the almost triangle, and then it goes bloop, 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 bloop with softened edges, and then another triangle. You're going to leave these two really big negative spaces over there. So look at the shapes of that dark tone. I'm going to take my little brush and make sure all my brushes are washed out so they're not drying crappy. Do not do that. It's a mortal sin.
It is, actually.
It'll ruin your brush, make a wobbly hit. Don't do it. Okay. You're going to load up your brush. And make this triangle in here. I'm going to come and go down a little bit. And swig and swag.
And swig and swag?
Yes. I'm still having the same problem. I keep on not putting enough paint and too much water on my brush. So I'm going to load up more pigment and do the swiggy swags. And then instead of painting this in, I'm going to just paint another triangle right on top. I'm going to come back and fill it in just a little bit more and define those socket thingies. What are they called?
Ridges?
Ridges. There we go. Define the ridges. I'm going to want to come in here. I don't like that negative space around here. It needs another layer. You can see the canvas. And I'm going to start noticing how around my background, I've left this white. I want to come and bring the paint so it touches. It's not like the light bulb sits there and the whole background just morphs around it. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of white into my brown, create this space around it, and then touch up around it so the orange and the brown meet. I think we're done. We got the movement of the light. The light bulbs look like they're shining. I'm very impressed with us. Success time.
Successes.
So I really like the chunkiness of your brush strokes. You kept them, the thickness pretty consistent, so it really like radiates, and it's very impressionistic. And the bulb, this whole thing is just gorgeous, right? Right? What's your success?
I like the colors this time around.
Yes, I love the colors.
Ooh, I really,
You sound like you moved.
I really like your socket. You use that first layer of like as a mid-tone kind of situation and just built on top of that, you like with your lights and a couple of darks you smushed in with saturation, and I think that was really, really effective and dramatic.
Drama.
In drama.
Yes, success is drama.
Your success is drama.
So we have a group. Join the group. Share your successes in the comments, right? Mm-hmm. Give us a photo. I want to see beginners to experts. I want critiques. Now remember, when you critique somebody, it has to be specific and nice. Right? You're not going to be like, that tree looks dumb.
Yes, I was like, you can say that the tree looks silly if you can explain why and how to make it better.
Yes. And that's part of the Muse community, is having this network, whether you are in Utah or in England, New Zealand,
Sure.
anywhere.
Yes.
And then find your community in your community. Go find an art class. We teach awesome art classes,
It's true.
but there's an awesome art class around you with your people. Go find your people and keep on painting with us.
Yeah. We'll see you next time for step 2, where we're going to flip the light bulb around and put in our beautiful cityscape.
That whole socket that we painted so beautifully, gone.
Yes. But we'll see you. We'll be going live
Next Thursday.
on Thursday.
Okay. Thank you.
See you
Bye-bye.
then. Bye-bye.